Our starting lineups presented by Alabama Credit Union. Alabama Credit Union, your trusted partner for financial success. Before we fully dive into the starters for the Gamecocks and the Crimson Tide, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. That's 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Here at Coleman Coliseum, Roger Hoover alongside our video stream producer, Ethan Carabin. The Courtside cam up and running, presented by NASCAR and all CTSN social media platforms. Again, the Courtside cam presented by NASCAR. Jerry Kelly producing this game back at our Learfield studios. Starting lineups presented by Alabama Credit Union. First for the visiting South Carolina Gamecocks. At guard, a 5'9" senior from Oceanside, California, Tahina Paopao. Paopao averaging 11 points, 2 rebounds per game. Also for the Gamecocks, starting at forward, a 6'3" senior from Ellenwood, Georgia, Sanaya Fagan. Fagan averaging 7 points, 4 rebounds per game. At forward, a 6'2" junior from Oviedo, Florida, Chloe Kitts, who's averaging 9 points, leads Carolina with 7.3 rebounds per game. At guard, a 6' senior from Dayton, Ohio, Bree Hall. Hall averaging 6 points, 3 rebounds per game. And then at guard, a 5'9" redshirt junior from Atlanta, Georgia, Raven Johnson. Johnson, the point guard, 45 assists, 26 steals, leading the way for Carolina this season. Meanwhile, for the Crimson Tide, and Christy Curry for Alabama, starting at point guard, a 6'2" grad student from Duncanville, Texas, Zay Green. Also a guard, a 5'9" sophomore from Wilburn, Georgia, the Ohio State transfer, Diana Collins. At forward, a 6'4" sophomore from Valdosta, Georgia, Essence Cody. Starting lineup rounded out by Carly Weathers and Aaliyah Nye. The Crimson Tide, the home team in this matchup, with a good crowd on hand on this Thursday night, wearing the home white jerseys with crimson numerals on the front and back. Alabama written across the front in crimson. Meanwhile, for South Carolina, black jerseys and shorts, white numerals on the front and back, trimmed in garnet. Our officials for today, Natasha Kamey along with Talesia Green and Frank Steratore. It's the Crimson Tide, 16-2 to begin the year, 3-1 in SEC play following Sunday's win at Ole Miss. For Dawn Staley in South Carolina, the reigning national champions, 16-1. The lone game they have lost was to the team that's now number 1 in the country, UCLA. Since then, 11 straight wins. They are also 4-0 in the SEC. Frank Steratore in the center circle. The ball is tapped and away we go. Essence Cody taps it to Zay Green, and we are underway in Tuscaloosa with the Crimson Tide working on the left goal. It'll be South Carolina on the right. We're just getting going in the first of 4 10-minute quarters. Down low, a pass goes to Nye on the right block. Right side layup good. Alabama's first scripted play works to perfection. Alabama with a quick 2-0 lead, 15 seconds into the game. Paopao with the basketball top of the key for Carolina. Out to Fagan, driving on the left baseline to the rim. Blocked from behind by Cody. Basketball will stay with South Carolina. Good start offensively and defensively for the Crimson Tide, leading 2-0 over South Carolina with 9:34 remaining in the first quarter. South Carolina with Raven Johnson to inbound the basketball to Kitts. From the left elbow extended, flips it to the top of the key to Paopao. Panning the left-handed dribble. Calling a play with the right hand. Now she shifts to the right. Top of the key. Pops a three-pointer. That gets stuck on the back iron. Rebound collected by Aaliyah Nye. Basketball with the Crimson Tide. Alabama up by a 2-0 score. Nye gets downhill down the right side. Spins around. Right block and then has the ball ripped out of her hands by Fagan. Clean steal by Sanaya Fagan. Pushing tempo down floor. Paopao bounce pass Kitts. Her shot from the right block is blocked by Green. The ball wrestled away by Cody. The basketball back to Alabama. Here comes Zay Green to the right elbow for the Crimson Tide, up 2-0. Bounce pass, top of the key, Weathers. Thought about a three instead, kicks it back out. Green contested three. Off the iron, no good from the right side, and the rebound right side lane by Kitts. Basketball to South Carolina. Paopao weaving through traffic, backs up to the right wing. A minute 15 into this game, 2-0 Alabama leading the defending national champs, and another turnover forced by the Tide. Essence Cody taps it right to Carly Weathers. Excellent defense again by Alabama. Top of the key, Diana Collins. Weaving to the right wing, a quick handoff to Aaliyah Nye, who dribbles to the top of the key. Nye. Fagan slapping at the basketball. Actually, Bree Hall slapping at it. Nye was able to keep possession. Give to Cody at the top of the key. 10 on the shot clock. Handoff Collins. Free throw line jumper high arching is up. Off the orange rim, no good. And the rebound on the right side of the lane by South Carolina's Raven Johnson. Paopao on the right wing. Back to Johnson, top of the key. Gamecocks looking for their first score of the game. Here's a quick jumper up and in by Fagan from just beyond the free throw line to tie the game at 2. 2 minutes into the game, 2 points each for South Carolina and Alabama. Crimson Tide back to work offensively with Zay Green. Green with Johnson stabbing at the basketball on the left wing, now to the top of the key, back from Nye to Green. Green around the screen by Cody to the right side. Forces a shot up, partially blocked. It does not go out of play, or yes, it will go out of play just off of South Carolina before the Gamecocks can get a quick steal. Turnover by each team, both sides trying to get it going offensively. Carolina 1 for 4 from the floor, Alabama 1 for 3. Collins on the baseline out of bounds from the right side, in between the rings to Zay Green. 9 on the shot clock to work with. Zay Green kicks it down the left wing to Collins, down the right wing, and open. Weathers, her three is up, off the iron, no good. Kitts taps the rebound to Collins, but just before that, a foul is called against the Crimson Tide and against Essence Cody. That'll be her first foul and the first team foul against Alabama. 7:36 remaining in the first quarter, a 2-2 game between Alabama and South Carolina. Raven Johnson over the middle of the timeline, dribbling with the right hand, motioning with her left, setting the offense for the Gamecocks. Pass to Kitts at the top of the key, then to Powell on the right wing. Back to Kitts, looks left, instead goes right to Powell. Powell's got it, right elbow extended. Her jumper is short and finally kicks in. Lingered a little over the rim before it finally fell through to give South Carolina a 4-2 lead against Alabama. Crimson Tide ball. Free throw line, Green tries to go to Cody. That pass tipped out of play by Powell just over the right baseline. Crimson Tide ball, 7:02 remaining in this first quarter. South Carolina 4 and Alabama 2. Baseline out of bounds on the right side for Alabama. Diana Collins looking, waiting, heaving all the way nearly to midcourt to Zay Green. Green. Around the screen by Cody to the left. Free throw line. Back on the right corner. Here's 9. Contested 3. Off the iron, no good. Kitts the rebound left block. Basketball to South Carolina. Gamecocks with Raven Johnson over the timeline. Nearly lost control of the ball on the left side by Collins with stifling defense. Kitts going to Fagan. Fagan from the right block. Puts up a shot, no good, and the rebound collected in the crimson paint by Alabama's Nye. Then her pass stolen by Powell. She drives, left side layup good. 6-2, South Carolina leads Alabama. First 2 points belong to the Tide, but 6 in a row by Carolina. Alabama has missed its last 5 shots from the floor. 3:16 scoring drought for the Tide. Green top of the key, pops a three-pointer, off the iron, no good. Rebound tapped out of play, and last touch by Crimson Tide. 6:17 remaining in the first quarter. 6-2, South Carolina leads Alabama. Kitts inbounds the basketball to Raven Johnson, who will work the ball over the middle of the timeline, over Script A and Crimson at mid-floor and the state outline on this floor at Coleman Coliseum. Pass to Powell on the right wing. Powell. Dribble to the top of the key with her left hand, switches to the right, now back to the top of the key for Powell, hand off to Johnson. Johnson, her pass, finally finds Kitts, left side of the lane, now back to Kitts, driving in, throws up a shot, bangs it in off the window to make it 8-2, South Carolina. Gamecocks with a 6-point lead and an 8-0 run. 5:45 remaining in this first quarter. Crimson Tide trying to find some offense. Zay Green dribbling in between the rings. Tight defense by Johnson. Bounce pass top of the key to Nye. Hand off to Green. Green with Hall defending her. Green spinning around to the top of the key. Gets downhill down the right side of the lane. Green looks for help. Finds it in Weathers' left corner. Weathers cuts inside. Left side of the lane. Jumper on the way. No good. And the rebound on the right block by South Carolina's Fagan. Her pass tipped by Weathers, but eventually finds Johnson. Johnson to a wide open Kitts. Right side layup good. And with that, Christy Curry calls timeout. And we will step aside as well. 5:15 left to go in this opening quarter from Tuscaloosa. It's the Gamecocks on a 10-0 run, leading Alabama by a score of 10-2. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. 3:15 left to go in the first quarter from Tuscaloosa. South Carolina 10 and Alabama 2. Tonight's game is brought to you by Good Molecules. Keep your skin roll tide ready with Good Molecules and see a difference in your skin today. Add Good Molecules to your routine at Ulta Beauty in Tuscaloosa or online on Amazon Prime. Good Molecules is a proud partner of Alabama women's basketball. Crimson Tide trailing by a score of 10-2. The Crimson Tide scored right out of the gate on the very first possession with a layup by Aaliyah Nye, but since then we have seen 10 points by South Carolina. Gamecocks have hit their last 3 shots from the floor. Alabama, meanwhile, has missed its last 7. So the Crimson Tide trailing by a 10-2 score as we get ready to resume play. Crimson Tide 5 on the floor. Carly Weathers, Zay Green, Aaliyah Nye, Gianna Cunningham has taken over for Essence Cody, and then Diana Collins on the floor as well. Meanwhile, for South Carolina, Malaysia Fulwiley has checked in for the first time today, along with Tessa Johnson. We still see Fagan on the floor, Joyce Edwards getting her first minutes of the game, as well as Raven Johnson. So again, Tessa Johnson and Raven Johnson both on the floor for South Carolina. We'll try and give you their first names every time they touch the ball. Basketball with the Crimson Tide. Here is Green. On the left wing, dribbles to the top of the key, pops a long three-pointer that's off the iron, no good. Rebound tapped around and controlled by South Carolina's Edwards on the left elbow. Basketball swiftly down floor of the Gamecocks, driving in Edwards, right side layup, good. 12-2 in favor of South Carolina. Basketball with the Crimson Tide. Green over the timeline right. Green at the top of the key, Cunningham, then to Carly Weathers. Couple steps to the left side at the top of the arc, and now bounce pass to Nye, then to Weathers. Around the screen, right elbow, back from Weathers to Nye, top of the key. Nye slithers down the left side of the lane, spins around left block, throws up an off-balance shot that's good, and then ends Alabama's scoring drought of just over 5 minutes. 12-4, basketball back with South Carolina leading Alabama in the first quarter at Coleman Coliseum. Basketball with Johnson in between the rings. Collins, tight defense on her. Floated to the top of the key. Now a bounce pass to a cutting to the basket. South Carolina Fulwiley, and she scores a left side layup to get the lead back to 10 for South Carolina. 4:03 left to go in this first quarter. Crimson Tide ball down by 10. Aaliyah Nye, top of the key to Cunningham. Cunningham looking low. Finds Carly Weathers. Spins around. Right front court. Bounce pass to Green inside the arc. At the top of the key, thought about a step-back jumper instead of bounce pass to Carly Weathers. 5 in the shot clock. Weathers right side lane into the Crimson paint. Spins around at the logo. Left side layup. Short, and the rebound taken away by Fagan. Fagan over the left timeline. Hands off to Raven Johnson. Johnson on the left wing. Flips it to Edwards at the top of the key. Edwards back to Johnson. Now on the left side of the lane to Fagan. Fagan. Top of the key to Raven Johnson. Launches a 3. Off the iron, no good. And the rebound by Tessa Johnson, right elbow. Out to Fulwiley on the right wing. Fulwiley against Carly Weathers. Starting to drive inside. Spins right block. Leaves her shot short thanks to the defense of Carly Weathers and Gianna Cunningham. Weathers gets it back for Alabama. Green over the timeline. Right corner 3. Nye. Switch! Aaliyah Nye, all the scoring for the Crimson Tide in this game. 7 points, and she makes it a 7-point contest. 14-7. Basketball back with South Carolina. Good to see the first three-pointer drop for Aaliyah Nye. Basketball with the Gamecocks. Up 14-7. A pass intended down low for Edwards goes over her head from Fagan. Turnover on South Carolina. Crimson Tide will sub in freshman Eris Lester to replace Carly Weathers. Once again, Sarah Ashley Barker not playing in this game with the ankle injury she suffered 2 weeks ago on this floor against the Florida Gators. Barker even doing some coaching standing up, still wearing the protective boot on her left foot. Basketball with the Crimson Tide. Nye to Cunningham on the right block. Double team, spins out of that. Cunningham, top of the key. Collins with a high arching 3. That's good! Diana Collins makes it a 4-point game at 14-10. Collins buries the tray. 2:25 left to go in the first quarter. Alabama's found some offense. This crowd has found some energy. Basketball with Tessa Johnson. Kicking it around the corner, Fulwiley, right wing 3, got it. Good answer for South Carolina after Alabama hit a pair of three-pointers. Malaysia Fulwiley makes it 17-10. Carolina leading Alabama by 7. Crimson Tide with the ball. Zay Green at the top of the key. Out to Nye, long-range 3 right side. Off the back iron, no good, and the rebound tipped. Collins has it. Bounce pass intended for Nye in the backcourt, stolen away by Tessa Johnson. Johnson finding Pow. Fulwiley in the right corner. Her 3 is up, too strong, and the rebound. Carolina tried to save it in play, but a foul is actually going to be called on the Crimson Tide. on Diana Collins, being physical, trying to get that last rebound. 1 minute, 49 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It's South Carolina 17 and Alabama 10. Carly Weathers will check in for the Crimson Tide, replacing Diana Collins. 10 points for Alabama, 7 by Aaliyah Nye, 3 by Diana Collins. Inbounds pass into Edwards' left block. Left side layup no good, but contact and a foul called against the Crimson Tide. That'll be on Zay Green. It'll be her first foul. Third team foul against the Crimson Tide. So first personal foul going against Zay Green. South Carolina to the free throw line, leading 17-10 over Alabama. Edwards puts the first one up and in. 18-10, Joyce Edwards, an 80% free throw shooter. Top scorer, even though she is playing off the bench, has only started one game in her freshman campaign, native of the Palmetto State from Camden. That next one on the way and good. 19-10 in favor of South Carolina. Green over the timeline for the Crimson Tide. Green to Lester, couple steps to the left side at the top of the key, spins around left side lane, now back at the top of the key for the Crimson Tide. Lester cuts into the paint, left side layup, off balance, no good, and the rebound pulled away by Fulwiley. Pushes tempo out to Edwards, back to Fulwiley, left to right, and an offensive foul called. Legal screen set by the Gamecocks. Joyce Edwards called for her first foul. First foul on South Carolina so far in this game. Basketball back with the Crimson Tide with Carly Weathers inbounding to Zay Green. Green over the timeline. Minute 18 remaining in this first quarter. South Carolina up 19-10. Green driving down the right side lane, leaves a layup short, and the rebound by Pow in transition out to a streaking Johnson. She's got it, goes up for a layup, but it's blocked away by Aaliyah Nye. Excellent work by Aaliyah Nye, blocking that shot away without fouling for the Crimson Tide. It will be South Carolina ball, but Nye slapping the basketball with her right hand saved Alabama from what would have been an easy two for Tessa Johnson and South Carolina. Inbounds pass to Edwards on the right block, spins around with the left hand, puts it up, no good, but a whistle blown and a foul called against Alabama on the shot. Eris Lester called for her first foul, fourth team foul on the Crimson Tide in this first quarter. That still has 1 minute, 4 seconds left. Quarter number one. Freshman Leah Brooks checking in to replace fellow freshman Eris Lester. Back at the free throw line, Joyce Edwards. 2 of 2 today, now 3 of 3, knocking down the first, and South Carolina builds the lead back to 10, matching the largest lead that Carolina's enjoyed today. One more coming up for Joyce Edwards. Puts it on the way, and it spirals in 21-10. Favor of South Carolina. Now the basketball going with the Crimson Tide with Zay Green. Over the timeline, Green. Couple steps to the right side, now to Cody at the free throw line. Cody spins around the paint, throws up a shot, and it falls in. Essence Cody scores for the first time today to make it 21-12. Basketball going to the Gamecocks. South Carolina staying on the perimeter with Fulwiley on the left wing, guarded by Brooks. To the in between the rings to Johnson. Johnson veers to the right side, swings it back top of the key. Miriam Dowda driving in from the left side, throws it up, no good, offensive foul. The Arkansas transfer, Miriam Dowda collecting her first foul, and that'll be the second team foul on South Carolina, and most importantly, it'll give the basketball back to Alabama. 34.6 seconds remaining, and about a 5-second difference in between the game clock and the shot clock as Alabama works with Zay Green over the timeline right. Crimson Tide trailing 21-12 with 22 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Green with idle dribbling in the right front court. Shot clock at 10, gets moving. Hand off to Aaliyah Nye. Bounce pass top of the key to Weathers. Bounce pass to Cody top of the key. 5 in the shot clock. Here is Cody. Out to Green on the right wing. Green, top of the key. Nye with the 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound by South Carolina's Edwards. 2 seconds left just over the timeline. Tessa Johnson heaves into the buzzer. Off the iron, no good. And that will close out the first 10 minutes of play. Alabama fell down early 10-2, but the Crimson Tide really fought back well after that as the Crimson Tide trailed 21-12 at the end of the first 10 minutes against the defending national champion South Carolina Gamecocks. Second quarter coming up next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Getting ready to start the second quarter in Tuscaloosa. South Carolina 21 and Alabama 12. Crimson Tide fans, we remind you to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations. Flu season is here, so don't wait. Vaccinate. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMN to learn more about how you can stay up to date on vaccinations. ADPH is proud to support the Crimson Tide. Alabama trailing South Carolina 21-12. Top scorer Leah Nye for Alabama with 7 points, 7 of Alabama's 12. The other points courtesy of Diana Collins with 3 points, 2 points by Essence Cody. Meanwhile, South Carolina balanced scoring so far. Joyce Edwards off the bench leads the way with 6 points for the Gamecocks. South Carolina shooting at 47% in the first quarter, 8 of 17. Alabama 5 of 18 so far in this game. From beyond the arc, South Carolina 1 of 4 from three-point land. Alabama 2 of 9. Gamecocks perfect 4 of 4 at the free throw line. Alabama's not been to the line. A rebounding battle won to this point by South Carolina, 16-6. Basketball with the Gamecocks as we're underway in the second quarter from Tuscaloosa. Johnson on the right wing. Swings at the top of the key to Edwards. Spins it back on the left side to Chloe Kitts. Kitts in between the rings to Edwards and then to Tessa Johnson. Johnson at the top of the key. Tries to go to Kitts, but that's deflected by Collins. Right to Alabama's Carly Weathers. Good steal for the Tide. Basketball with Alabama down 21-12. Zay Green at the top of the key. Green around the screen by Cody to the left. Hands off to Collins. Collins, free throw line. Tries to go to 9. Nearly lost the basketball, but retrieves it in the right front court. Shot clock at 10. At the free throw line, Essence Cody. Cody from the right elbow, now starts to drive in against Kitts. Throws up an off-balance shot, no good. Rebound with 2 hands, Chloe Kitts in the crimson paint, and the basketball to South Carolina. Tessa Johnson over the timeline for the Gamecocks. Johnson on the left wing, feeling the pressure by Collins, passes to Edwards. Edwards just inside the arc left wing. Dribbles to the baseline, to the basket. Right side layup is out of control, no good, and the rebound tapped out of play by Essence Cody. Right to some members of the Crimson Tide men's basketball team that are sitting on the front row, like Darian Reed, Mark Sears. Good to see those guys supporting the Crimson Tide women's basketball team on this Thursday night. Inbounds pass coming into Chloe Kitts at the top of the key. Kitts on the right wing for the Gamecocks with the ball up 21-12. Top of the key, Bree Hall with the three-pointer off the back iron, no good, and the rebound will be tapped out of play, and last touch by Alabama, since Cody touched it last. So the Gamecocks will have it. 8:44 remaining in the second quarter with South Carolina up 21-12 over Alabama. Haven't seen a basket yet for either team in this second period. Hall inbounds to Johnson, top of the key. Johnson, the left-handed dribble, bounce pass on the left wing to Hall, then to Kitts, cutting to the basket from the left baseline. Banks in a left side layup to make it a 23-12 lead for South Carolina over Alabama. Now Green at the top of the key for the Crimson Tide. Green has the ball tipped out of play by Raven Johnson over the left sideline. Gamecocks will sub in Fagan as well as Fulwiley. Crimson Tide maintaining its 5 on the floor. Zay Green, Carly Weathers, Essence Cody, Diana Collins, and Aaliyah Nye, all 5 starters, starting the second half on the floor as well. Weathers, left sideline, inbounds to Diana Collins, left wing, dribbles to the top of the key, drives down the right side lane against Kitts, spins around, bounce pass top of the key to Zay Green. Green driving to the right side, throws it up, throws it in, Zay Green. 23-14, Alabama fighting back with number 14, Zay Green. Basketball with South Carolina. Top of the key, Fagan on the left wing, stepping inside the arc. Bree Hall back top of the key. Here's a catch and release three-pointer that swirls out, no good. Rebound Kitts. Kitts fights back in, right side layup up, kicks out, no good. Rebound out of play, last touch by Alabama. Still South Carolina ball, 7:53 remaining here in the second quarter. It's South Carolina 23 and Alabama 14. Raven Johnson, right baseline, inbounds the basketball to Fagan, then quickly back to Johnson. SEC logo jumper is up, kicks out, no good, and a foul called fighting for the rebound against the Crimson Tide. That'll be on Zay Green. First Crimson Tide player to pick up 2 fouls today. Basketball with South Carolina, baseline out of bounds from the left side, quickly in to Fulwiley, left baseline out of control, but throws up a shot from the left side of the lane that's good. 25-14, South Carolina with the 11-point advantage, matching its largest lead of the game. Crimson Tide ball, Zay Green to the free throw line to Cody, right block, throws it up, no good, but draws the foul, and Essence Cody will head to the free throw line for the Crimson Tide. Sanaya Fagan called for the foul for South Carolina. First team foul on the Gamecocks in this second quarter. Fagan's first foul of the game. So that will send Essence Cody to the free throw line. Essence, a 74% free throw shooter, but has been really good down the stretch. Fourth quarter of games when Alabama's needed key free throws. Cody has delivered. First one on the way is good. 25-15, Crimson Tide trailing by 10, 7:34 remaining in the second quarter. Cody goes 2 for 2. 25-16, Crimson Tide down by 9, 7.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter, and the basketball with South Carolina. Full Wiley at the top of the key. Couple steps to the left side for Malaysia. Full Wiley sends it to Johnson on the right wing. Johnson top of the key. Here's Hall. Rhythm three is off the iron, no good. Rebound Kitts right side. Layup up, banked in. Rebound and score by Chloe Kitts. 27-16, South Carolina leading. 7:07 remaining in the second quarter. Dinah Collins dribbling at the top of the key for the Tide. Handoff Lester. Lester at the free throw line. Flips the basketball to Carly Weathers. Weathers finding Aaliyah Nye. Nye at the free throw line for Alabama. Nye surges down the left side lane. Throws it up, throws it in. Aaliyah Nye with the answer. 27-18, Crimson Tide fighting back. 6:44 left to go before half. Here's Full Wiley, a left side three, no good. Rebound left blocked by the freshman Eris Lester. Basketball to the Crimson Tide. Lester over the timeline left. Lester to Collins in the left corner. Collins dribbles to the right hand to the left wing. Free throw line. Now to Cody, left block. Left side layup, good. Crimson Tide making it a 7-point game. Essence Cody scoring and an and-one opportunity coming up for the sophomore. Bree Hall called for the foul for South Carolina. So Essence Cody already up to 6 points. Now an opportunity for an and-one to get Alabama to within 6. 6:28 remaining here in this second quarter. And one, give it to her. 27-21, Crimson Tide trailing by 6. Basketball back with South Carolina. Gamecocks just over the timeline with Johnson. Johnson in the paint, tries to go to Fagan. Fagan backs up, the ball poked away by Aaliyah Nye, taken away by Lester. Lester feeling the pressure, draws the foul. Contact from Raven Johnson, and the foul is going to be called against her. First foul on her, 3 team fouls on South Carolina in the second quarter compared to just 1 on Alabama. 6:12 remaining in the second quarter. Crimson Tide trailing 27-21. Alabama outscoring Carolina 9-6 here in the second period. Nye at the top of the key. Looks for help, bounce pass to Lester in between the rings. Lester angles a few steps to the left wing. Now back in between the rings to Collins. Collins, free throw line, left side lane, right to the basket, throws it up, throws it in. Diana Collins. Alabama's made it a 27-23 score. Gamecocks back with the basketball. Full Wiley off balance, no good. Left side layup, and the ball ripped away by Collins. A jump ball will be called. Possession arrow will favor the Crimson Tide. So the Crimson Tide, as freshman Chloe Spreen will check in for the first time today. Quite a good stretch offensively for Alabama, fighting back in this game. 7-0 run for Christy Curry's team over the last minute of play, making the last 4 shots from the floor. Basketball, Diana Collins, working over the timeline. On the right side, now Collins. Waiting. Bounce pass to Weathers. Free throw line, spins around against Kitts. Weathers to an open Lester left corner three. Too strong, and the rebound taken away by South Carolina by Raven Johnson on the right baseline. Johnson finding Pow on the left wing. Pow against Spreen, driving in, throws up a shot, no good, and a foul is called. Just as Pow was driving in, Chloe Spreen picks up her first foul. Second team foul on the Crimson Tide here in the second quarter. 5:13 remaining in quarter number 2. South Carolina 27, Alabama 23. Here's Pow back to the free throw line for South Carolina. 67% free throw shooter, knocks down the first. And first Gamecock point we have seen since it was 27-16. Now it's 28-23. Second one on the way, good. Gamecocks by 6 points once again, 29-23 with 5:12 remaining in the second quarter. Zay Green over the timeline right. Directing this Crimson Tide offense quickly to Weathers. Weathers, couple steps to the left side of the top of the key. Now shuffles to the right. Passes to Cody, right block. Too strong in the layup attempt by Essence Cody. Rebound in transition by Fulwiley. Gamecocks with Fulwiley driving left side. Underhand layup banked in to make it 31-23. Basketball right back to the Crimson Tide. As the Gamecocks have started to find some offense after Alabama had been in the midst of a 7-0 run. Now Cody at the top of the key. Handoff Weathers. Weathers driving down the right side lane. Pressured against Kitts. The ball goes out of play off of Carly Weathers. And that will give the ball to the Gamecocks when we return from this timeout on the floor. South Carolina fighting back after the Crimson Tide had cut it to a 4-point game. But at the moment, it's South Carolina 31 and Alabama 23. We'll step aside with the media timeout and be back with the rest of the first half next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. .39 left to go in the second quarter. It's South Carolina 31 and Alabama 23. Tonight's game brought to you by Good Molecules. Keep your skin Roll Tide ready with Good Molecules and see a difference in your skin today. Good Molecules. Add Good Molecules to your routine at Ulta Beauty in Tuscaloosa, or you can do so online on Amazon Prime. Good Molecules is a proud partner of Alabama women's basketball. Crimson Tide trailing in this ballgame 31-23. Alabama outscoring South Carolina 11-10 here in the second quarter, but last 4 points have belonged to the Gamecocks. 9 points for Aaliyah Nye leading the way for Alabama. Meanwhile, Malaysia Fulwiley leading South Carolina with 9 points as well. 5 on the floor as we return to action. Zay Green, Aaliyah Nye, Essence Cody, Carly Weathers, and Diana Collins. All starters on the floor for the Tide. Meanwhile, for South Carolina, we will see Maddie McDaniel in for the first time today, reserve guard for the Gamecocks, only a freshman, along with Chloe Kitts, Tahina Palpal, Malaysia Fulwiley, as well as Joyce Edwards. Basketball with McDaniel at the top of the key. Bounce pass to Edwards, right elbow. Thought about handing it off, instead spins around. Her jumper is finally in. Nearly went in and out, but rolls through to make it 33-23 in favor of South Carolina. 6-0 run for the Gamecocks. Basketball the Crimson Tide. Weathers on the left wing. Weathers to the top of the key, Nye. Pressure by Palpal. Hurries down the right side lane. Throws up a shot, no good. Rebound, nearly saved in play by the Gamecocks, but out of play off of Edwards. 6-0 run for South Carolina. Crimson Tide trailing 33-23, 4:06 to go before halftime. Collins inbounds pass to Nye. Left elbow extended, backs up to the top of the key. Now the free throw line floats it to Cody. She's got it right block. Right side layup, good. And one. Essence Cody making it 33-25. So that ends the 6-0 run for the Gamecocks. That foul will be on Sakima Walker. That'll be her first foul. Gamecocks with 4 team fouls. One more, and Alabama will be in the bonus the remaining 4 minutes of this second quarter. To the free throw line, Essence Cody. Already a perfect 3 of 3 at the line today. Miriam Dowda back in the game, replacing Joyce Edwards for South Carolina. And one rims out, no good. Kits with the rebound on the basketball to South Carolina. Gamecocks with McDaniel over the middle of the timeline. McDaniel guarded closely by Collins. Pass on the right wing to Fulwiley. Fulwiley at the top of the key, now still on the right wing, now switches back to McDaniel. McDaniel at the top of the key, 10 on the shot clock. McDaniel driving left side, underhand layup, no good, but draws contact and the foul. Collins guilty of her second foul for the Crimson Tide, third team foul. And that will send Maddie McDaniel to the free throw line. Freshman from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Bishop McNamara Products, 74% free throw shooter, knocks down the first. 34-25. One more coming up for McDaniel. On the way. Kicks out no good. Essence Cody flies high for the rebound. Basketball of the Crimson Tide. Green over the timeline left. Green at the top of the key for the Crimson Tide. Feeling some pressure by Fulwiley. Now Green, right wing. Fulwiley still guarding her close. Quick handoff to Aaliyah Nye. Nye bounce pass to Collins, top of the key. Collins on the left wing to Green. Green guarded closely by Fulwiley. Green a step to the left. Left baseline. Goes around the perimeter. Now to Collins, driving with 4 on the shot clock. Collins, right block, throws up a shot, leaves it short on the rim, and the rebound under the basket by Dowda. Basketball to South Carolina, up by 9. Gamecocks, Fulwiley weaving into the paint, kicks it out to Pow. Fulwiley on the left wing, now to Dowda. Spinning around left side lane, throws up a shot over Cody, kicks out no good. Green with the rebound, right to Essence Cody. Basketball to Alabama. Crimson Tide with Green over the timeline right. Free throw line, left side of the lane. Bounce pass intended for Weathers. Now a scrap and fight for the basketball. Tipped by Pow. Right to Fulwiley in transition. Back to Pow. Behind the back pass, Fulwiley to Pow. Right to left, and Pow knocks down the left side layup. 36-25. Basketball going to the Crimson Tide. 2.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Gamecocks back to an 11-point lead, matching its largest lead of the game. Nye spins around, free throw line jumper, off target, and the rebound simply goes out of play. Basketball with South Carolina up by 11 with 2:21 remaining in the second quarter. Inbounds pass to McDaniel. McDaniel to Kitts on the right wing. Floats it to Pow, right wing. Contested 3 is short, and the rebound, Carly Weathers right in front of Chloe Kitts. Basketball to Alabama, just under 2 minutes to go before halftime with Alabama down by 11. Green on the right wing, thought about a 3, now works inside the arc, and then got pressured and fell to her feet due to a foul. That foul will be against Maddie McDaniel, and that will be the 15th foul on South Carolina, sending the Crimson Tide to the free throw line. Alabama in the bonus the remainder of this second quarter. Tessa Johnson back in for South Carolina, replacing Fulwiley. Top scorer for the Gamecocks, Fulwiley with 9 points, 4 of 8 shooting. Zay Green, only 2 points so far today, 1 of 6 shooting, 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. 65% free throw shooter. First one on the way, no good. And Green has gotten off to some slow shooting starts in some SEC games this year and then found her rhythm in second halves of this game. So don't be alarmed by the numbers so far for Zay Green. Second one on the way. She's got it. 36-26. Crimson Tide down by 10. 1:50 to go before halftime. McDaniel over the timeline left. Now in the left front court for the Gamecocks. McDaniel at the top of the key. Works it out to Tessa Johnson. Tessa Johnson. Left baseline jumper is good. Alabama defended that well, but still Tessa Johnson puts it home to make it 38-26. Gamecocks leading by 12. Here's Green. Top of the key for the Crimson Tide. Green, right side lane. Fighting gets Pow, throwing up a shot that kicks out no good. Pow the rebound in the Crimson paint, and the basketball to the Garnet and Black. Basketball with Carolina down low. Kitts, her shot blocked away by Green, taken away by Carly Weathers, and then a foul called on Chloe Kitts, defending too closely against Carly Weathers, who was trying to move down floor of the basketball. Chloe Kitts picks up her first foul. 38-26, Crimson Tide. Trailing South Carolina with 1:13 remaining in the second quarter. Essence Cody goes out for the Crimson Tide. Christabel Azuma checks in. 6'2" grad student from Sugar Hill, Georgia, transfer from Campbell. Carly Weathers going to the free throw line for Alabama. Weathers has not scored today, 0 for 3 from the floor. She is a 64% free throw shooter. Carly's first. Rims in. 38-27. One more for Weathers. Puts it on the way and in. 38-28. Weathers goes 2 for 2. The Crimson Tide with 1:13 remaining in the second quarter. Main goal has got to be find a way to get this to a single-digit game going into halftime. Alabama currently just down by 10. Gamecocks with the basketball with Pal at the top of the key. Pal on the right wing, a quick handoff to Hall. Hall pounding the right-handed dribble, now switches to the left as she gives to McDaniel, top of the key. McDaniel and a whistle blown, offensive foul away from the basketball on South Carolina. That'll go against Miriam Dowda setting the illegal screen. That'll be her second foul. That will send the basketball back to the Crimson Tide. So Alabama gets the stop, now needs the points. Trailing by 10, 57 seconds remaining before halftime. Carly Weathers inbounds the basketball to Diana Collins out of bounds. Collins over the timeline right. Collins to Green at the top of the key. Green surges down the right side lane. Layup up and in. Zay Green wanted it. She got it. That makes it 38-30. Basketball to South Carolina. Quickly down floor with Pal on the right wing. Top of the key, McDaniel. Tessa Johnson driving in from the left side. Spins around, works it back. Top of the key, Dowda off balance three. No good. Rebound by Zay Green in the Crimson paint. Basketball to Alabama. Here is Green. Backing up just a step or two. A 2-second difference in between the game clock and the shot clock. Idle dribbling by Zay Green in the right front court. Shot clock dwindling down now to 10. Green still looking. It's moving with 7 on the shot clock. Green to the right baseline. Green, top of the key to Nye. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Nye, free throw line jumper, rims out. Rebound Azuma, and the buzzer sounds, and before Azuma put up the shot, buzzer sounded. Shot would have been no good, and that closes out the first 20 minutes of play between two top 20 teams. 19th ranked Alabama and 2nd ranked South Carolina. Our score at the half, it's Alabama trailing South Carolina 38-30, but again, the Crimson Tide have made it a single-digit game going into halftime. Coming up next, we will have the Toyota halftime report. That's on the way. Again, our score in Tuscaloosa, South Carolina 38 and Alabama 30. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Curry of Alabama women's basketball, plus Alexis Papillo of Alabama softball. Fun conversation with her as Team 29 now less than a month away from starting the Alabama softball season. Quick look at the first half stats. Again, the Crimson Tide trailing at 38-30 at the break. Alabama was outscored 21-12 in the first quarter, but then the Crimson Tide outscored South Carolina in the second quarter 18-17. For the Crimson Tide, 11 of 32 shooting, 34%. Then Alabama 2 for 10 from beyond the arc, 6 of 8 at the free throw line. Rebounding battle won by South Carolina 29-15. Crimson Tide 5 assists but only 5 turnovers. Alabama is taking care of the ball for the most part today. 3 steals and 5 blocks. Meanwhile, for South Carolina, Gamecocks shooting 41% in the first half, 1 of 10 from three-point land, and then 7 of 8 at the free throw line. 10 assists compared to 7 turnovers, 4 steals, and a block for Carolina in the first half. Top scorer is Aaliyah Nye for the Crimson Tide with 9 points, and she's also joined by Essence Cody. Matched her with 9 points, with Cody doing some good work to close out the second quarter, so both lead the way with 9 points. 5 points by Zay Green, Diana Collins, 2 points by Carly Weathers, so all 5 starters have scored, but no one in Alabama's bench has scored today. South Carolina's bench outscoring Alabama 20-0 in the first half. South Carolina led by 9 points by Malaysia Fulwiley, 9 points in only 11 minutes of action off the bench. 8 points each by Chloe Kitts, Tahina Palpal, as well as Joyce Edwards. Then 2 points each by Tessa Johnson and Sanaya Fagan. 1 point at the free throw line by Maddie McDaniel. Scored halftime, South Carolina 38 and Alabama 30. We will step aside and continue with more of the Toyota Halftime Report next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Tide trailing at halftime 38-30 against South Carolina, but it's time to take a look at other scores around the SEC on this Thursday night with a scoreboard update presented by Alabama Power. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama Power, power for a better Alabama. Halftime down in the Plains, Texas 44, Auburn 23. The score at halftime there. Halftime as well from Norman, Oklahoma. It's the Sooners up 39-32 over the Missouri Tigers. Then Tennessee at home against Mississippi State with a 43-34 lead against the Bulldogs. Coming up in just 10 minutes will be the other Bulldogs, Lady Bulldogs of Georgia, taking on Texas A&M and Bryan College Station. Then the Florida Gators against the Ole Miss Rebels in an hour and 10 minutes. But right now here in Tuscaloosa, Crimson Tide hanging tough with the defending national champion South Carolina Gamecocks. Our score of the break, South Carolina 38 and Alabama 30. More of the Toyota Halftime Report next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Carolina Gamecocks leading Alabama 38-30 at the break. What to expect in the second half is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Well, the Crimson Tide expect Alabama to continue fighting with a lot of effort. Alabama was down by as much as 12 in the first half, but still found a way to battle back and only trailed by 8 at halftime against one of the best teams in the country, and certainly the team that's been probably head and shoulders above everybody else in SEC women's basketball so far this year. In non-conference play, spilling into conference play, South Carolina. So what to expect? Expect more looks from three-point land for Aaliyah Nye. Nye only 1 for 4 from 3 so far in this game, and then a slow start for Zay Green scoring the basketball, but again, we've seen that even against the wins against Florida, Missouri, and Ole Miss. Every now and then would get off to a 1 for 5 start, 1 for 6 like tonight, and then she finds herself scoring 20-plus points. Expect a great effort coming up from Zay Green, who has 5 points at halftime, and then for Alabama, have to get more rebounds. South Carolina out-rebounded Alabama 29-15 in the first half of play. If Alabama wants to win this game, there have got to be more boards coming up for the Crimson Tide in the second 20 minutes of play. Gamecocks getting their shots up on the floor. Crimson Tide will return to the floor as well coming up in just a moment. So that will do it for the Toyota Halftime Report. Visit your local Toyota dealers or explore sctoyota.com today. Take advantage of the amazing deals on a full line of vehicles. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places. Next up is the third quarter of action from Tuscaloosa. Our score, South Carolina 38 and Alabama 30. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. South Carolina, but hanging tough through the first half. 38-30 is our score on this Thursday, January 16th. Have to give some women's basketball happy birthday shout-outs. First of all, Gray Robertson is calling this game on SEC Network Plus. He fills in on the radio for us a lot here on women's basketball. And, of course, he and Tom Canterbury are gearing up for another season together calling Alabama softball this year, now on 100.1 FM in Tuscaloosa. But happy birthday to Gray. Happy birthday across the court as well to our public address announcer, longtime public address announcer, Alan Gunther as well. And then another notable Crimson Tide birthday today, Brian Johnson, the former Director of Basketball Operations for Crimson Tide Women's Basketball. Happy birthday to all three here in Tuscaloosa tonight. Before we start this third quarter, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. That's 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Back courtside at Coleman Coliseum, Roger Hoover here with you. Jerry Kelly producing this game back at our Learfield studios. Ethan Carabin alongside. He is producing our courtside cam presented by NASCAR. Wave to the people watching, Ethan. There we go. Crimson Tide trailing 38-30 with 10 minutes on the clock, ready to begin this third quarter. Alabama in the home white jerseys, South Carolina in the road black, and we are underway in this third quarter. Gamecocks now working on the left goal, Alabama on the right for the remainder of this women's basketball game. Carolina up 8. Pow driving down the right side of the lane, works under the basket, flips it in the left corner. Three-pointer on the way, off the iron, no good by Raven Johnson. Chloe Kitts the rebound for Carolina on the right baseline. Gamecocks back to Kitts, back outside to Hall, now to Pow to Kitts in the paint. Kitts step back from the SEC logo. That'll kick in to make it a 10-point South Carolina lead, 40-30. Basketball with the Crimson Tide. Alabama trailing by 10 to begin this third quarter. Zay Green to Essence Cody at the top of the key. Cody spins around inside the arc. A long jumper is no good. Kitts flies in for the rebound with two hands, and the basketball with South Carolina. Pow over the timeline. Kicks it out to Johnson on the right side. Works it back to Pow. Now Kitts top of the key. Kitts dribbles to the left. Flips the basketball in between the rings to Pow, who backs up. Calls out a new play. Angles a few steps closer to head coach Don Staley. Now works it at the top of the key to Johnson. 9 on the shot clock. Kitts, bounce pass on the right block. Right side layup good by Sanaya Fagan. 42-30, 4 points to begin this second half by South Carolina. Crimson Tide did not score last possession. Zay Green to Collins in between the rings. Collins to Nye, head fake by her on the right wing. Now Nye at the free throw line. Bounce pass to Carly Weathers. Weathers in the paint. Weathers right side of the lane. Weathers fighting inside, goes to the left side. Now works the basketball on the perimeter to Zay Green. 5 in the shot clock. Green has the ball punched away. Green retrieves it. 3 seconds left. Green top of the key, launching a three-pointer off the mark. Well short of the basket. Chloe Kitts corrals the basketball for South Carolina. Gamecocks with Kitts. To the top of the key, Pow, a 3 on the way, off the iron, no good, and the rebound tap to Zay Green. Here comes Alabama. Crimson Tide being outscored 4-0 in this third quarter. Weathers, three-pointer, string music. Carly Weathers with a 3 from the right wing, and that makes it 42-33. Basketball to the Gamecocks. Raven Johnson to Kitts at the top of the key. Kitts to Pow, left wing. Pow pops the three-pointer and connects. Pow answers Weathers' three-pointer with a 3 of her own. Christy Curry calls timeout, and we will step aside as well. 45 for Carolina, 33 for Alabama with 7:41 remaining in this third quarter. We'll step aside here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Carolina outscoring Alabama 7-3 to begin this third quarter. It's the Gamecocks leading this game 45-33 against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Tonight's game against South Carolina brought to you by Good Molecules. Keep your skin Roll Tide ready with Good Molecules and see a difference in your skin today. Add Good Molecules to your routine at Ulta Beauty here in Tuscaloosa or online on Amazon Prime. Good Molecules, proud partner of Alabama women's basketball. Crimson Tide trailing in this ball game 45-33 against South Carolina. 12-point lead for the Gamecocks, matching the largest that South Carolina has enjoyed today. Again, the Gamecocks outscoring Alabama 7-3 since we started this third quarter. With star power on hand, mentioned some men's basketball players here. The Alabama soccer team with a huge group, also sitting courtside. Football players mixed in as well. Caden Proctor has been sitting next to the Director of Athletics, Greg Byrne, along with Wilkin Formby throughout a good portion of today's game. Two offensive linemen for the Crimson Tide, but just all over the place. Student section, Crimson Chaos really delivering for this women's basketball game. Love to see that. Would love to see fans back when the Crimson Tide are in action. They're coming up later on this month. Alabama will have a Sunday home game against Vanderbilt on the 26th. No midweek game next week, no game on Thursday for the Crimson Tide. So road trip to Arkansas this Sunday, then the next home game will be against Vanderbilt. Would love to see some fans in the building like we've seen tonight. One of the best crowds of the entire season. Basketball, the Crimson Tide out of timeout. Zay Green to Essence Cody at the top of the key. Cody, a dribble, a handoff to Aaliyah Nye. Feeling some pressure to Zay Green at the top of the key. Green, dribble to the right. Right block, Zay Green throws up a shot, partially deflected, and then tapped at a play by the Gamecocks. No, the Crimson Tide right there for South Carolina was Fagan. The officials may talk about it, and yes, the basketball will belong with Alabama. Natasha Kamey and Talisha Green talked about that call. The third official is talking with Christy Curry, Frank Sterator. Basketball with the Crimson Tide, only 8 on the shot clock. Inbounds into Nye on the right side. Nye floats it to Cody. She's got it right block. Right side layup good. Essence Cody in double figures with 11 points. 45-35 the score. Crimson Tide trailing by 10. 7:10 remaining in this third quarter from Tuscaloosa. Pal at the top of the key. A few steps to the right side on the right front court. Pal waiting. Gives to Fagan. Fagan, then her pass is interrupted by a bump from Alabama. Leah Nye provides the bump, called for her first foul. Team foul number 1. 45-35, South Carolina leads Alabama, 7:12 remaining here in the third quarter. Two officials talking about that call. Fresh 20 put on the shot clock after they talk, so the Gamecocks ready for the baseline out of bounds from the right side. Pal to the top of the key to Dowda. Dowda to Kitts, left side of the lane. Kitts spins, throws up a shot, traveled to the basketball. Didn't move her feet, trying to move inside for the Gamecocks, and a turnover will give the basketball to Alabama. In terms of turnovers, South Carolina with 8, Alabama only 5. Haven't seen a Crimson Tide turnover in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. Basketball with Green to Cody at the top of the key. Now Cody, a quick handoff to Diana Collins. Collins to Carly Weathers from the left side. Weathers, left side of the lane, out to Zay Green, and Green step out of play for the Crimson Tide. So that will give the basketball back to South Carolina on Alabama's first turnover here in the second half. Pal over the timeline. Pal in between the rings to Chloe Kitts at the top of the key, guarded by Aaliyah Nye. Kitts, a handoff to Bree Hall. Hall at the top of the key. Nye switches on defense to her. 10 on the shot clock. Hall nowhere to go. Finds Kitts on the left side of the lane. Kitts trying to go to the right side. A quick right side layup good by Fagan to make it 47-35. Basketball with Alabama once again trailing by 12. Gamecocks back to their largest lead today. Green, top of the key. To Diana Collins on the left wing. Collins at the free throw line. Spins in the paint. Underhand layup blocked away by Fagan. Taken away by the Gamecocks. That was all Sanaya Fagan. Carolina with Pal. Getting downhill with Hall on the left side. Hall shot partially blocked. Taken away by the Crimson Tide. Cody provides the block for Alabama. Takeaway by Carly Weathers. Now driving in Aaliyah Nye. Her shot blocked from behind by Fagan. And free throws coming up for Aaliyah Nye. Fagan guilty of the foul. Second team foul on the Gamecocks. Excuse me, team foul number 1 in this third quarter. Now we'll send the Crimson Tide to the free throw line with Aaliyah Nye. 9 points today, has not been to the free throw line so far in this game. Nye is an 84% free throw shooter. Coming off a career high 32 points, Aaliyah Nye against Ole Miss. First free throw in and out, no good. 5:58 remaining in the third quarter. South Carolina 47, Alabama 35. Next one on the way. Got it. 47-36. Basketball with the Gamecocks just over the timeline. Pow. On the right wing. Hard pass on the right block intended for Fagan. Goes out of play off of Fagan. So a turnover, giving the basketball to the Crimson Tide. Alabama continuing to turn South Carolina over, and that is not an easy feat. Gamecocks have only averaged 12 turnovers per game so far this year, and right now they're at 9 so far in this game. Basketball with the Crimson Tide green, driving in. Lost control of the ball as it's ripped out of play by South Carolina. 5:42 remaining in this third quarter. South Carolina 47, Alabama 36. Maddie McDaniel checks back in for the Gamecocks, replacing Tahina Pau. Green inbounds to Eris Lester. Lester on the right side to the right elbow, back on the right wing to Green. Green starts to drive inside herself, swings the top of the key. Here's Nye, rhythm three. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound tapped by Azuma to the top of the key. It stays with Alabama. Zay Green. Good effort by Christabel Azuma. Top of the key, Zay Green. Free throw line. Spinning around. Nearly step back. Now spins. Left side lane. Floater in the paint. Kicks home for Zay Green. 47-38. Crimson Tide clawing back against South Carolina. Gamecocks with Tessa Johnson. In between the rings to Full Wiley. Long range three. No good. And the rebound, Azuma. Basketball to the Crimson Tide. Zay Green gets moving for the Tide, driving in for the right side, kicks it out to Nye in the right corner. Nye in the paint, off balance, flips it up, kicks out, no good. Fight for the rebound, won by Full Wiley against Azuma. Full Wiley then knocks down her defender, Aaliyah Nye, who will be called for the defensive foul. And that will send us to a timeout on the floor. Nye called for her second foul. 4:51 remaining in this third quarter. It's the Crimson Tide again hanging tough with South Carolina, trailing the defending national champion 47-38 with still 4:51 left to go in the third quarter. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The third quarter, it's South Carolina 47, Alabama 38. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Good to see in this timeout the Alabama women's wheelchair basketball team being recognized. Part of Alabama Adapted Athletics. They have won 4 straight national championships. Now they're on the floor throwing out t-shirts too. Again, it's a great crowd here in Tuscaloosa. Best of luck to the women's wheelchair basketball team for Alabama as well as the men's team as their seasons get going this month. Crimson Tide again trailing 47-38 against South Carolina, a team that has won 11 straight games. Again, their only loss was against UCLA, the team that is now #1 in the country. South Carolina right behind them at #2. Gamecock team that maybe doesn't even have some of the star power we've seen in the past for Dawn Staley and South Carolina, but a very balanced team. 5 players averaging double figures in SEC play. Their top scorer is Joyce Edwards, only averaging 11 points per game, and she's doing that all off of the bench, but so many players contributing for Dawn Staley and this South Carolina Gamecock team. Team effort today as well for Christy Curry and the Crimson Tide, especially playing without Sarah Ashley Barker, first team All-SEC performer, who is once again dealing with the ankle injury, but has a future coach who's even going to have some future coaching opportunities afforded to her as a player. More on that on RollTide.com, but she's been very active in the game plan today for Alabama against South Carolina. Look forward to seeing her return soon for the Crimson Tide on the floor. Essence Cody with a steal out of timeout. Her pass intended for Green, tipped out of play, but Essence Cody collecting the steal for the Crimson Tide. Active hands by the Crimson Tide post player. 4:41 left to go in this third quarter. It's South Carolina 47 and Alabama 38. Basketball with Zay Green over the timeline right now. Green, free throw line, finds Nye on the right wing. Nye feeling some pressure, dribbles to the top of the key. Bounce pass to Cody. Cody at the free throw line. Cody left side lane, works inside with the left hand, throws it off the window and in. 47-40. Alabama's made it a 7-point game. 4:20 to go in the third. McDaniel dancing in the paint. Hands off Edwards. Edwards kicks it out to Tessa Johnson. Right corner three, no good. Rebound, Christabel Azuma. Basketball, the Crimson Tide. Green over the timeline. Zay Green scans the scene for the Tide. Green against Fulwiley. Around the screen to the left. Left side lane. Bounce pass to Cody. Left wing three. Off the iron, no good. Azuma. Rebound on the right block. Christabel Azuma backs up to the right wing. Hands off Carly Weathers. Weathers, free throw line in the Crimson paint. Lost control of the ball. It goes out of play off of Carolina. It was Maddie McDaniel who touched it last in the left corner. Crimson Tide ball with only 11 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Tahina Palpal comes back in, replacing Maddie McDaniel. Carly Weathers to inbound the basketball from the left corner. It comes into Zay Green, top of the key. 10 on the shot clock. Green, left side, cuts it to the right side. 3 on the way. Essence Cody, no good from the right corner. And the rebound by Fulwiley on the left block. Basketball with South Carolina, up 7. Fulwiley driving on the right side of the lane. Throws up the shot, no good. Contact from Alabama's Zay Green. That will send Fulwiley to the free throw line. Green's got to be careful now. 3 fouls for her in the game. First Crimson Tide player to 3 fouls. Carolina, nobody with more than 2 fouls so far in this game. Fulwiley, the native of Columbia, will go to the free throw line. 68% free throw shooter. This is her first trip today. First free throw is good to give her 10 points. 48-40, Carolina by 8. One more coming up for Fulwiley. Puts it on the way and in. 49-40 in favor of South Carolina. Crimson Tide with Zay Green over the timeline. A legal screen set by the Crimson Tide. That will send the teams the other end of the floor. And that'll be on Essence Cody. So that'll be the second foul on her. 3:28 remaining in this third quarter. South Carolina outscoring Alabama by a point since the teams returned from the locker room. Palpal over the timeline right, angles to the right wing. Palpal at the top of the key. Palpal lost control of the basketball, out of play, and Alabama had pressure, but that was really all Palpal, just taking the ball over the baseline, over the M in Alabama. Written in white on a crimson background just behind the baseline. So with that, basketball with the Crimson Tide, 3:16 to go. South Carolina, uncharacteristic 11 turnovers today. We're still in the third quarter. Top of the key, Cody. Cody, step inside the arc to Nye, cutting to the basket. Right side, her shot blocked out of play by South Carolina just as Nye lost her footing. Ball will be with Alabama on the right baseline. Carly Weathers getting ready for the inbounds pass. Dinah Collins will check back in for the Crimson Tide. She replaces Essence Cody. Carly Weathers inbounds the basketball, top of the key to Zay Green. Green around the screen. Green dancing at the top of the key. In between the rings to Nye, 10 on the shot clock to Azuma. Azuma, right elbow extended. Azuma to Nye, right wing three. Off the iron, no good. Fight for the rebound, tapped around, finally controlled by Fagan in the Crimson paint, and the basketball with South Carolina. Palpal's pass over the timeline, tipped by Weathers, but still finds full Wiley. Right side layup won't go. Rebound on the left side, the putback no good by McDaniel, and the rebound right side by Zay Green of Alabama. Green pushes tempo over the timeline. Crimson Tide ball, 2.5 minutes remaining in the third. Here's Green driving in, right side floater, no good. Rebound, Azuma, saving it for the Tide. Top of the key, Weathers thought about a three, a step to the left, her three up, and just short. Rebound, Collins left side, putback good, Diana Collins. 49-42, Alabama makes it a 7-point game again. 2:10 remaining in this third quarter. Basketball with South Carolina. Gamecocks have missed their last 5 shots from the floor. No field goals have been scored by Carolina in the last 4+ minutes. Full Wiley on the left wing. Full Wiley to the right side, stolen Carly Weathers. Fast break chance for Alabama. Weathers left side spins around. Carly in the paint, throws it up, throws it home. The steal, the score by Carly Weathers. 49-44, Alabama's within 5. Basketball with South Carolina. Minute 40 remaining in this third quarter. Here's Pau. Driving down the right side of the lane. Pau under the basket. Bounce pass top of the key. Finds Tessa Johnson. Her three-pointer up and in. Right in front of the outstretched hand of Zay Green. 52-44. Scoring drought over for South Carolina. Stretching the lead back to 8. Now it's Green at the top of the key. Green, free throw line, top of the key to Aaliyah Nye. Nye, few steps to the right, switches to the left to Carly Weathers. Weathers, top of the key. Bounce pass to Azuma, right elbow. Back to the basket, Azuma, 9 on the shot clock to Nye, driving, spinning, throwing up a shot. No good on the shot, but contact from Carolina will send her to the free throw line. Fagan calling for the foul for South Carolina, her third. A minute 3 remaining in this third quarter. Teams even in scoring at 14, so an 8-point deficit for Alabama, just like we saw at halftime. Essence Cody back in for the Crimson Tide, replacing Zay Green. It's Aaliyah Nye to the free throw line for the Crimson Tide. Nye today with 10 points, 1 of 2 at the line on her last trip. First one on the way. Yes. 52-45. One more free throw for Nye with 1 minute, 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This one's on the way. This one's good. 52-46. Basketball with South Carolina up 6. Raven Johnson calls out a new play, dribbles over Script A and Crimson at mid-floor. Now Johnson passing on the left wing to Pau. Pau at the top of the key. Pau driving on the left side, kicks it out to an open Johnson left corner. Her three swirls out, no good, and the rebound by Essence Cody in the paint. Basketball to Collins, 42 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Alabama ball down 6. Collins at the top of the key for the Crimson Tide. Around a screen, few steps to the right side. Cody at the top of the key. Cody, her pass on the left side, tipped out of play by South Carolina's Tessa Johnson. It'll remain Crimson Tide ball. 31 seconds to go in the third quarter. 14 on the shot clock left for Alabama to work with offensively. South Carolina 52, Alabama 46. Zay Green comes in for the Crimson Tide, replacing Christabel Azuma. Very quick rest on the sideline for Zay Green. Inbounds pass from Weathers to Cody left side. She's got it. South Carolina forgot all about Essence Cody. She makes it 52-48, a 4-point game. 20 seconds to go in this third quarter. Alabama's outscored Carolina by 4 in this third quarter. Johnson dribbling at mid-floor. Johnson at the top of the key. 9 seconds left. Shot clock turned off. Pass down low. Right side layup is good for South Carolina's Joyce Edwards. 54-48. 2 seconds left. Weathers past the timeline right side. Right wing kicks it out. And the three-pointer is up. No good by Nye, but that was after the buzzer sounded. And that closes out the third quarter of play. Third quarter where Alabama outscored South Carolina. The Crimson Tide have outscored the Gamecocks the last 2 quarters of play. Now we get ready for this final quarter of action tonight in Tuscaloosa. 19th ranked Alabama trailing 2nd ranked South Carolina 54-48. Back with the fourth quarter next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Carolina 54, Alabama 48. We have 10 minutes to go in this ball game. We're getting ready to start the fourth quarter at Coleman Coliseum. Crimson Tide fans, the Alabama Department of Public Health reminds you to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations. Flu season is here, so don't wait. Vaccinate. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM today to learn more about how you can stay up to date on vaccinations. Crimson Tide outscoring South Carolina 18-16 in the third quarter. Top scorer, Essence Cody in this game for the Tide with 15 points. Aaliyah 9 just behind with 12. Dinah Collins, Zay Green both with 7. Carly Weathers 7 points as well. South Carolina 4 in double figures. Balanced scoring that has been the hallmark of Dawn Staley's team this year. 11 for Fulwiley, 11 for Pow Pow, 10 each for Edwards and Pitts. We are ready to start the fourth quarter. Alabama has never beaten Dawn Staley with South Carolina. 22 wins in a row for the Gamecocks in this series, a streak that began all the way back in 2009. Basketball with Cody at the top of the key. Cody feeling some pressure at the top of the key. Pops a three-pointer that's well short, partially deflected as well, and the basketball will go to South Carolina. Johnson over the timeline. Raven Johnson guarded by Dinah Collins. Carolina ball up by 6, first minute of this fourth quarter. Johnson at the free throw line. Johnson shovels it on the left side to Edwards. She's got it on the left block, and a left side layup good to make it 56-48. Basketball will go to Crimson Tide. Zay Green. Green to Weathers on the right wing. Weathers dribbling with the left hand, guarded closely by Chloe Kitts at the top of the key. Bounce pass to Cody. Cody in the paint, going to work, throws up a shot that's deflected out of play by Kitts. Everyone wanted a foul to be called on that play. It's a Crimson Tide fan, but it's tipped out of play. Still Crimson Tide ball with 12 on the shot clock. Dinah Collins. Right baseline trying to inbound the ball. Will to Zay Green. Green on the right front court. Now Green at the top of the key. Free throw line driving left side. Throws it up. No good on the shot. Chloe Kitts flies high for the rebound. Basketball to South Carolina. Here's Johnson over the timeline. Johnson on the right wing. Johnson scanning the scene on the right wing. Passing to Tessa Johnson, top of the key. She drives in from the left side. Throws up a shot, and that is no good. And a foul is going to be called on that play as well. And that will go against South Carolina. That will go against Tessa Johnson. That'll be her first foul. First team foul on the Gamecocks in the fourth quarter. Here is Zay Green over the timeline left for Alabama. The Crimson Tide trailing by 8 points. Green on the right wing for the Crimson Tide. Weathers in the right corner. Weathers inside the arc, into the paint. Weathers lost her footing, kicks it back out on the left side. Collins drives in the left baseline, spins around, finds Weathers on the left wing. Weathers against Kitts, 8 on the shot clock to Green on the right wing. Green, step back rhythm 3. She's got it! Zay Green with a three-pointer. Alabama needed. That makes it South Carolina 56 and Alabama 51. 8:13 left to go in this fourth quarter. Gamecocks with the basketball, up by 5. Critical possession. Alabama needs a stop. Joyce Edwards at the free throw line to hand off to Bree Hall. Left side of the lane to the free throw line. Here's a jumper on the way by Edwards. No good. Rebound tapped around in the right corner. Finally corralled by South Carolina. Around by Raven Johnson, gives to Bree Hall. Back to Johnson in between the rings. Calls out a play with the right hand. Now switches to the right-handed dribble. Johnson, top of the key. Shot clock winding down. Now at 5. Johnson out to Hall on the right wing. Hall driving in. Floater in the paint. Thrown up. No good on the shot, but a whistle blown and a foul called against Alabama. Carly Weathers guilty of the foul for Alabama. Her first. And the team's first. Clock stops with 7:38 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Now it's Christabel Azuma checking in, replacing Dinah Collins of the Crimson Tide. At the free throw line, Bree Hall. Hall today has not scored up until that free throw. Puts it in to make it 57-51. Bree Hall, senior out of Dayton, Ohio, 65% free throw shooter. One more on the way. In and out and finally in. 58-51. Gamecocks by 7. Crimson Tide with the ball. Zay Green dealing with tight defense by Raven Johnson in the backcourt. Now dribbles over the middle of the timeline. Turns on the Jets. Down the left side to Cody in the left corner. Thought about a three. Instead, Cody into the paint. Throwing up a shot, no good. Rebound by Kitts in transition. Here comes South Carolina. Kitts, right side of the lane, knocks down her defender, throws it up and in. However, a foul called against Chloe Kitts. Offensive foul, pushing off her defender. Second foul on her, second team foul. Taking that charge for the Crimson Tide, Aaliyah Nye. Excellent textbook play by Alabama defensively. So now the Crimson Tide after the offensive foul with the ball. Green hurries down the right side lane, throws it up, off the window, it's in. I told you Zay Green would pick up her scoring in the second half, and we're seeing it. 58-53, 5-point game, 7 minutes to go in Tuscaloosa. Johnson on the left wing, lost her footing. Stolen away by Azuma. Basketball the Crimson Tide. Johnson laid on the floor, could not believe it. Now the basketball the Crimson Tide. Green out to an open Weathers in the left corner. Thought about a three, instead a fake. Left baseline, gives him the right block. Azuma, she's got it, throws up a shot, no good, but draws the foul. Christabel Azuma will go to the free throw line. Critical shots coming up for the Crimson Tide. Christabel Azuma, the transfer from Campbell, a 47% free throw shooter, 18 of 38 on the year. Alabama at the free throw line today, 9 of 12, Gamecocks 11 of 12. Crimson Tide with Azuma at the line, 6:45 to go. Alabama trailing by 5. 3 dribbles, Azuma puts it up and left it short. One more opportunity for Azuma coming up at the line. Wiping her hands off her pink shoes right at the charity stripe. Now Azuma ready to go for attempt number 2. On the way, off the iron, no good, and Fagan with a rebound. An 0 for 2 trip for Azuma, who is 47% free throw 47% free throw shooter. 6:37 still to go. Gamecock ball up 5. Powell has a pass intended on the right block. Finally getting it. Edwards puts it up. No good on the shot, but she drew the foul from Alabama. Third foul in essence, Cody. Second team foul on the Crimson Tide here in the fourth quarter. That will send Joyce Edwards, a 6'3" freshman, to the line. 2-time a state champion in the state of South Carolina, 4-time state player of the year. Number 3 overall player in her class when she signed with Dawn Staley and South Carolina. First free throw on the way is good. 59-53. Scoring even at 5 between these teams in the fourth quarter. One more coming up and in. 60-53. Alabama once again down by 7. Crimson Tide will get ready for the inbounds pass with Carly Weathers. Comes into Diana Collins. Collins over the middle of the timeline. Now it's Collins at the top of the key. Collins driving left side lane. Her shot blocked away by Fagan. Basketball to South Carolina. Fagan's block perfectly caught by Edwards, almost like a volleyball pass. Now the basketball with South Carolina. 6:09 remaining, a chance to build a 7-point lead. Bree Hall on the right wing. Dawn Staley not liking what she's seeing on the Carolina sideline. On the perimeter, Raven Johnson. Powell on the left wing to Johnson. Raven driving in, right side, throws up a wild shot, no good. Rebound and put back good, however, by Fagan. Gamecock 62, Crimson Tide 53. Now Alabama down 9, really needs a basket here. Here's Green at the top of the key, 5:40 remaining. Green, step back, long range 2 from the top of the key, swirls, finally in for Zay Green. 14 points for Zay, 62-55. Alabama again down 7, 5.5 minutes to go. Gamecocks trying to go a little quickly on a pass to Hall. Thought it would go out of play. Alabama bumped Hall trying to get to the basket. Foul called against Crimson Tide. That's the 4th foul on Essence Cody. A really costly one there for Essence. Comes with 5:27 to go here in the fourth quarter. 3 team fouls. Dawn Staley will call timeout. 3 team fouls on both Alabama and South Carolina. We will step aside. Still 5:27 left to go in this game. Alabama looking for the upset of SEC play so far if they can defeat South Carolina. But our score with 5:27 remaining in the fourth. South Carolina 62 and Alabama 55. Back with the rest of this game in a moment. This is Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. 27 seconds to go. Alabama hanging tough with the defending national champions South Carolina Gamecocks. South Carolina 62, Alabama 55 in this top 20 matchup. Don't forget, women's basketball will be back in action Sunday at Arkansas. 4 p.m. will be our tip-off time. Our airtime on the network will be 3:45 p.m. Then Alabama will not have a game next Thursday. The Crimson Tide will be home next time against Vanderbilt. 1 p.m. will be the start time on Sunday, January 26th. Would love to see this crowd back here for that ball game, as Christy Curry has talked about many times, including today on Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. All these games count the same. Yes, Alabama taking on a team that has won 3 national championships in the Don Staley era, one, of course, last year. And what Alabama's trying to do has not been done by many teams. That's get a win against South Carolina, a team that has won 125 of its last 129 games. South Carolina has been the standard in SEC women's basketball, but the Crimson Tide giving them a great game tonight here in Tuscaloosa. 62-55 is the score. 5:27 remaining. Gamecocks will have the basketball with 24 on the shot clock. Dawn Staley saw something she did not like on that last South Carolina possession. Called a quick timeout. Now we're back underway. Gamecocks with the basketball up by 7. Critical for the Crimson Tide to get stops in these final 5+ minutes. Here is Edwards. Inside the right elbow, backs up, spins around, shot clock at 10. Carolina with Hall. Edwards back to Hall on the right side. Hall driving right baseline to the rim, leaves a layup short, and a whistle blown and a foul called against Alabama.
Foul against Alabama's Aaliyah.
That'll be on Aaliyah. 3rd foul on her. And that will send Bree Hall to the free throw line for South Carolina, a 65% free throw shooter. Puts it on the way, and that's in. 63-55. One more for Hall. He's got 3 points, now 4. 64-55. Alabama again down by 9. 5:05 to go in this game. Zay Green over the middle of the timeline scans the scene. Hands in her face. On defense by South Carolina's Raven Johnson. Green a few steps to the left wing for the Crimson Tide. Dances to the top of the key. Green hurries down the left side lane, throws it up off the window. No good, but at least drew the foul. And we'll go to the free throw line next for Alabama.
Foul against South Carolina, 23, Bree Hall.
Second foul on Bree Hall. 4th team foul on the Gamecocks. Both teams with 4 team fouls so far in this game. Carolina outscored Alabama 21-12, and then the Crimson Tide, and that was in the first quarter. Next 2 quarters, Crimson Tide outscoring Carolina. Free throw on the way is good by Zay Green. 64-56. This is a South Carolina team that's been getting off some slow starts, putting teams away right before halftime. That did not happen really in this game. Alabama only down by 8 at the break. Green's next one on the way, swirls off the iron, no good, and the rebound collected by Pow on the right baseline. Pow over the middle of the timeline. Now it's Pow at the top of the key. Calls that a play. Dancing in between the rings for Carolina. Pow guarded by Weathers. Top of the key to Raven Johnson, around the screen to the right. Now to the top of the key, Fagan to Edwards. Left block, spins around with the left hand, throws it off the square and in. 66-56. Crimson Tide down by 10 with 4:20 remaining. Zay Green backing up a few steps. Now on the top of the key for the Crimson Tide. Cuts down the right side lane, swings it out to Weathers in the left corner, nearly mishandled the pass, but Weathers in the paint. Tried to go for a bounce pass to Zay Green. It's intercepted by Fagan. Fagan's pass to Raven Johnson over the timeline right, and the Gamecocks with the ball and a 10-point lead, 4 minutes to go. Hall in between the rings. Hall angles a few steps to the left wing, guarded by Diana Collins. Top of the key to Pow. Pow kicks it out. In the corner, Bree Hall. Left side 3 is short, and the rebound collected in the paint by Fagan. Top of the key, Pow contested 3, off the iron, no good, and the rebound by Edwards. Offensive rebounds helping South Carolina work some clock here, even if points aren't falling for the Gamecocks. South Carolina out-rebounding Alabama, 47-27 in this game. Top of the key with 7 on the shot clock. Edwards out to an open Hall left wing. Her 3 is no good, and the rebound fought for under the basket. We'll go back the other way, it appears. So to the Crimson Tide, touched last by South Carolina. Alabama with that, calling a 30-second timeout. Crimson Tide with now 1 timeout remaining. South Carolina will still have 3 timeouts remaining in this game. 3:22 still to go in this contest from Tuscaloosa. Once this game is over, we will, of course, have the Regions postgame show with head coach Christy Curry. The final stats, make sure you get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Quite a crowd on hand for Alabama against South Carolina. Tonight's game brought to you by Good Molecules. Keep your skin roll tide ready with Good Molecules and see a difference in your skin today. Add Good Molecules to your routine at Ulta Beauty in Tuscaloosa or online on Amazon Prime. Good Molecules is a proud partner of Alabama women's basketball. Alabama trailing South Carolina 66-56. Next up for the Gamecocks. Home against 13th ranked Oklahoma on Sunday at 3 p.m. in Columbia. Next up for the Crimson Tide, a road trip to Fayetteville, Arkansas to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Inbounds pass from Carly Weathers to Zay Green. Green over the middle of the timeline for the Tide. Zay Green with the Tide trailing 66-56, 3:10 to go. Weathers at the top of the key. Around the screen, backs up on the left wing. Shot clock down to 10. Weathers on the left wing for Alabama. Weathers looks for some help. 5 on the shot clock. Bounce pass to Cody, left baseline. Cody spins around. Right-handed hook shot is short. Taps the rebound, though, to Weathers. Top of the key, Lester. Thought about a 3. Instead, Lester. Handoff to Green. 2:47 left to go. Alabama trailing by 10, working with the ball. Green at the top of the key. 10 on the shot clock. Contested 3 up, well short. And the rebound in the paint by Fagan. Basketball to South Carolina. Gamecocks with Pow Pow over the timeline. Pow Pow swings it to Edwards. Left block. Left side layup banked in. Gamecocks up by 12. 68-56. This matches the largest lead South Carolina's had today. Green over the timeline. Green at the top of the key. To Aaliyah 9. And an offensive foul called on Green just after delivering a pass. Green had hard contact with a South Carolina defender right on the face. Bree Hall. Hall was hunched over in pain. Her teammates helped get her back standing upright after that foul was committed by Zay Green. So Zay with that foul, now up to 4 in this ball game. 4th foul coming with 2:19 remaining. Gamecocks will inbound the basketball from Edwards to Pow Pow in the backcourt. South Carolina outscoring Alabama 14-8 in the 4th quarter. Pow Pow. Chest pass to Fulwiley on the left wing. Now Fulwiley driving against Nye into the paint, throws up a shot. No good, but a foul called as the shot was going up against Alabama, against Aaliyah Nye. For Nye, that'll be her 4th foul. 2:06 remaining in this contest. Malaysia Fulwiley back to the free throw line. 11 points for her in this game, 2 of 2 in the line. Sophomore from Columbia. SEC All-Freshman team, member a year ago. First one by Fulwiley is good. 69-56. Tough time for Alabama to have a scoring drought of 2 minutes 45 seconds. Gamecocks getting their largest lead of the game here. 13, and will stay that way as the free throw's no good, but Edwards grabs the offensive rebounds. South Carolina 18 offensive rebounds in this game. Now Pow Pow on the right wing for the Gamecocks, guarded by Aaliyah Nye. Pow Pow to the top of the key. Fagan, 5 in the shot clock to Edwards, right block. She's got it and 1. Puts it up and in on the layup to make it 71-56, and then she scored. Edwards has been really a scoring threat for South Carolina here in this second half, up to 20 points for Edwards, who only had 10 points at the end of the 3rd quarter. So Edwards has scored 10 points here in the 4th quarter all around the rim. Foul called against Crimson Tide, Zay Green, so she fouls out of this ball game. Point guard for the Crimson Tide out of the game with 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Fouls out with 1:50 to go. And 1 by Edwards is good. 72-56. So the Gamecocks in the midst of an 8-0 run, growing the lead to its largest margin today. 16 points. Basketball, the Crimson Tide with Carly Weathers at the top of the key. Weathers backing up a few steps, handoff to Collins. Collins, handoff to Nye, right wing three, with a hand interface. That's no good off the rim. Rebound Cunningham, SEC logo. Cunningham's putback on the way. Short got the rebound. Putback this time, got it. Johnny Cunningham ends the over 3-minute scoring drought for Alabama. 72-58, Alabama down 14, a minute 20 to go. Bull Wiley with idle dribbling now in the right front court. Bull Wiley taking her time now, driving in against Collins in the paint, throws up a shot, no good. Collins with the foul for Alabama, her third. Gamecocks in the bonus for the remainder of this game. 1:07 still to go, coming up here in the fourth quarter. Bull Wiley to the line to shoot two. First free throw is good. 73-58 is the score. Still a minute 7 to go here in the fourth quarter. Bull Wiley with one more coming up. On the way and good. 74-58 is the score. Crimson Tide with the ball with a minute 5 remaining here in the fourth quarter. It's Dinah Collins over the timeline for the Crimson Tide, working at the top of the key. Collins around the screen by Cunningham to the right, down the right side of the lane. Collins fights her way in, kicks it back out in the left corner. Cody loads up a three, in and out, no good. And the rebound fought for under the basket and won by South Carolina's Bree Hall. Cody 0 for 3 from three-point land today. Basketball with South Carolina. Bull Wiley will see the Gamecocks. Well, actually, she traveled. Bull Wiley traveling on the right wing, giving the basketball back to Crimson Tide with 41 seconds to go. Actually, substitution timeout for South Carolina. McDaniel will come in for Carolina, replacing Pow Pow. Heads to the bench with 11 points. So with that, quick timeout for a sub. 22 on the shot clock, 41 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. And bounce pass to Maddie McDaniel. That's Bull Wiley on the left wing. Guarded by Carly Weathers. Bull Wiley in the paint. Fights up a shot, and that's good. A right-handed hook shot, making it 76-58. Crimson Tide with the basketball. Carolina outscoring Alabama 22-10 in this fourth quarter. Collins, top of the key, the free throw line, step back jumper on the way, long two, no good off the front iron. Rebound, Cunningham, put back, no good. Cody tapping the rebound to Cunningham, fight for the basketball. Ball goes out of play and will stay with the Tide. Shot clock turned off with 16 seconds to go. Collins ready for the inbounds pass, looking, waiting, floating it in, top of the key to Nye. 15 seconds to work with. Out to Collins on the left side. Head fake, step to the left. Her three-pointer blocked by Bull Wiley. The ball out of play off of South Carolina's Fagan. And the basketball with the Tide. 10.7 left to go. Tough fourth quarter for Alabama. 12-2 run by South Carolina over the last 4:19. Inbounds pass thrown into Aaliyah Nye. Nye at the top of the key. Around a screen by Cunningham. Now it's Nye. 5 seconds left. Cody, then to Collins. Collins drives in the left baseline, kicks it out to Carly Weathers. Right side three on the way. That's no good, and that will close out this game from Tuscaloosa. Alabama hung tough with the nation's defending national champion and second-ranked team, but tonight the South Carolina Gamecocks with a strong fourth quarter pick up the win over Alabama, 76-58, our final score in Tuscaloosa. Back with the region's postgame show next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. fight and effort tonight by Alabama against South Carolina. Tonight's final score of the Gamecocks 76 and the Crimson Tide 58. Roger Hoover, glad to welcome you to the Regions postgame show. We're now joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry. And coach, your team down 21-12 at the end of the first quarter. How'd you guys keep fighting back the rest of the way against one of the nation's best teams?
Yeah, just first of all, I want to thank our crowd. Hopefully they'll come back and see us. You know, we've got 5 more games that count the same here at home. Amazing environment. We appreciate our community for coming out tonight. And that's the biggest thing I want to say to start with. Yeah, our kids battled, you know, the final score. But, I mean, there's no moral victory. I think, you know, we expected to win, and we didn't do enough there down the stretch. I think we'd cut it to 5 and missed 2 free throws, you know, and I thought that was critical. We got to make our free throws, and then we got to come back down and be tough enough to get some stops. I didn't think we had a lot of energy at times there down the stretch on the ball, and I thought that really affected the game. You've got to do a really good job of applying some pressure up top, and I think we did enough of it tonight. So Diana, Zay, whoever that is, we got to do a better job with that. But credit South Carolina. They made threes and they made plays. They got to the free throw line and converted, and I thought that was the difference in the fourth quarter.
It's hard to take care of the basketball against a team like South Carolina. You have 9 assists compared to 8 turnovers. Were you pleased with the offense tonight?
Well, I was pleased with how we took care of the basketball. I thought we took some quick shots. Maybe they weren't turnovers, but I thought they were shooting mistakes, and I thought we took some quick shots at times and weren't able to get some ball reversal and do some things that we normally do. But again, I thought it was a choice. You know, it's all about good shot, bad shot, and sometimes those aren't seen in the turnover category. I thought we took a couple shots at times that weren't exactly what we wanted, and sometimes that can be classified as a coach's turnover.
Essence Cody, 15 points tonight. What did you like about her in the paint?
Well, I thought she rose to the challenge. You know, I thought she didn't play intimidated. I thought she has shown a lot of maturity from a year ago, and we did a nice job of finding her, and she did a great job. Man, she's been working on that 3. And I thought a couple of those were going to go down, so we want to encourage her to continue to work on it and shoot it. I couldn't be prouder of her. I thought she competed, and that's all we're asking them to do each and every day in life is compete, and she competed today.
Saw that really from your whole roster as Alabama falls tonight, South Carolina, but next up, the Arkansas Razorbacks on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, you know, to go back on the road and take care of business. I say this all the time, and, you know, I think Arkansas is a team that's playing their best basketball. And they've had a week off to prepare for us, so I know we're walking into a tough environment there up the hill, and we've got to do a really good job of doing the things that we know that we can do going into that environment.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time tonight. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Roll Tide.
Again, I just want to thank our crowd. If they're in the car right now or they're listening, I just can't thank them enough for coming out. We really appreciate the support.
Absolutely. Roll Tide, Coach. That's the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry. Her post-game comments always presented by Ford with impressive power and smart features. Great things can happen when you drive a Ford F-150. Make sure you bring home a champion today. See your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. This is the Regions post-game show. Get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Again, the final score in Tuscaloosa, South Carolina 76 and Alabama 58. Back to wrap things up from Tuscaloosa next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.